Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new, mostly solo video. Today we're going to be going through the steps necessary to complete the achievements required for the Glory of the Hellfire Raider achievement. I will note as a preface that with most of these achievements, I already had them prior to the videos being made, so I was running a friend through to get the amount for him. One achievement will require 2 people, and another of the achievements I found very difficult to do with my main, but should be possible to solo on many ranged classes and specs, or even melee with some practice. More on that next. First up, we have Nearly Indestructible. The objective is to complete the Hellfire Assault encounter while keeping the Hellfire cannons above 90% health. This is the one that I found fairly challenging on my Feral Druid main, but it is likely easier and actually possible to solo on a ranged class or spec, or even any other class or spec, including Feral Druid, with some practice with the encounter. To me, it felt challenging to maintain aggro on all the mobs with access primarily to only melee. Before starting this encounter, you'll need to clear out all the trash that you see as you come into the instance, after which Siegemaster Martok and her allies will come out to greet you. You'll start off the encounter by attacking Siegemaster Martok. She'll flee at around 50% and the real part of the encounter will start, with reinforcements entering the fight in waves from metal capsules that land near the cannons. You'll need to down them to ensure that they don't attack either of the Hellfire cannons. After some waves, a siege vehicle of one of several types will come out ready to attack one of the cannons. You will need to deal with these as soon as possible as they do very large sums of damage to the cannons and will easily knock them below 90%. After killing the siege vehicle, it will drop a glowing green box of Hellfire ammunition. Grab that and run up to one of the Hellfire cannons, doesn't matter which, and it will be launched from that cannon. You'll need to repeat this several times to complete the encounter. When the encounter is complete, assuming the cannons are both above 90%, you will have your achievement. Next up is Turning the Tides. The objective is to kill 10 Hellfire Guardians before killing the Iron Reaver. It will require a little bit of aiming, but is simple enough to complete without too much difficulty. As mentioned, I am helping a friend to get these achievements, so he is with me. But you may notice this achievement is actually easier to solo than it is to do with multiple people. Primarily, you want to point the boss in a specific direction at certain times, which is more difficult with multiple people. You'll want to aggro the Iron Reaver over to one of the walls and point it toward the wall in such a way that a path in front of the boss will hit as many of the viewers as possible. These are the Guardians. After doing so, at some point the boss will use an ability called Barrage. This is what will kill them. This may be cast on other players if you have any with you, so keep that in mind when you're trying to aim the boss. It's best to stick together for this if running with multiple people, but you shouldn't have to worry about it while running solo. After killing the 10 Hellfire Guardians, go ahead and take the boss down and you should have your achievement. Next achievement up is Waves came crashing down all around. The objective is to defeat Kormrok without taking damage from any of the waves. While you are in the fight, waves will be coming from the purple pool. You'll want to avoid any of those touching you. Other than that, you'll want to just DPS the boss down as hard and fast as possible. When he's defeated, assuming you haven't been hit by any of the waves from the purple pool, you should have your achievement and you should be good to go. Next one is Don't Fear the Reaper. The objective is to kill all 3 members of the Hellfire High Council within 10 seconds of each other. Now, this one is easier to do with 2 people than it is to solo, but it's still quite possible to solo. The reason for that being that while Dark Whisper is near the other 2, her Void Haze ability prevents them from taking any damage at all. I'll explain how to solo and how to 2-man this. In the clip shown, I had my friend holding aggro on Dark Whisper while I damaged the other 2 and get them down to very low health, then get her health down to a low number and then smash them all down as quickly as possible. When I ran this solo, my tactics were as follows. When the fight starts, she takes a moment longer to jump down than the other 2. I used this time to damage the others down as much as I could without killing them. When she inevitably used Nightmare Visage and got too close, I lowered her health and healed myself up. While she is in this state, she runs much faster and will get close, preventing damage to the other 2. When she transforms back, she will go back to using ranged attacks, at which point you can simply pull the others away and lower their health more. Be sure to kill them all within 10 seconds of each other and you should have your achievement. Next is A Race Against Slime. The objective is to defeat Kilrogg Deadeye with Ariok surviving the fight. Ariok is just damaged over time, so this is super easy. Just deal with Kilrogg quickly and beat the timer of Ariok dying. After doing this, you should have your achievement. Moving on, we have our next achievement, Get in My Belly. The objective is to defeat Gorefiend after killing the Soul of the Crone. This one does require 2 or more people to complete. The reason for this being that part of the fight phases one player out, which will despawn the boss and reset the fight if no other players are present. Personally, I found this one to be the most challenging achievement, especially at higher levels with higher health. To lower my health substantially before the fight started, I took off several pieces of equipment which offered the largest amounts of stamina. This brought me to 2.6 million, at which point I could drop my weapon to go down to 1.4 million when needed. Obviously, this will be different for each user, so you'll have to find out what works for you. For the first part of the fight, Gorefiend starts off with 100 mana. To spend this mana, he will summon Gorebound Constructs. These will fixate on random players and will need to be dealt with promptly. When they arrive at their target, they do massive AoE damage. Going off Wowhead, it deals 3 million damage, so be sure to kill them before they get too close. After all mana is spent by Gorefiend, he will use the ability Feast of Souls, which will regenerate all that mana. After this starts, you will want to take off your weapon and die as quickly as possible and leave one or more players up without dying. The best way to do this is to aggro the Gorebound Spirit spawned by Gorefiend and then hop into the water beneath Gorefiend to quickly lose health. Then Gorefiend will swallow you. When he does this, 3 creatures will spawn, each called Fragment of the Crone. You will want to equip your weapon and kill all 3 of these. When they're all dead, your target, Soul of the Crone, will spawn in front of Gorefiend. If Gorefiend regenerates all his mana, the Soul of the Crone will despawn, so the soul needs to be dealt with promptly. Your party member will need to kill the Soul of the Crone before Gorefiend's mana is regenerated. You can leave the stomach by running into the center of the room, which teleports you out. Assist with the Soul of the Crone if it's still alive, and if it's not, then kill Gorefiend to take your achievement. The next achievement is Protoss. The objective is to kill Shadowlord Iskar in Hellfire Citadel without anyone holding the Eye of Anzu for more than 5 seconds in a row. Well, more than 5 seconds in a row, but I had to read the typo that is in the achievement. Personally, I found the easiest method to solo this is to just kill Iskar as quickly as you can. When running with my friend, I didn't pay any attention to my health until it was too late, and I ended up dying. But killing the boss as fast as you can and keeping yourself healed should be fine. This next achievement is a little tricky. This one is I'm a Soul Man. The objective is to kill 20 Haunting Souls within 10 seconds of each other, then defeat Socrethar. In the video shown, I had my friend record his session of getting this achievement, which I explained to him. You can follow along accordingly. The reason being, you will absolutely want to do this one solo, even if you are doing this with a friend. You can do it with multiple people, but it is easier to do this solo so that the Haunting Souls only go for one target, you. The first thing you'll want to do is defeat the Soulbound Construct. When you do this, Socrethar will pop out of it, and after a moment, you'll be able to hop into it instead. At this point, you'll want to find the blue portal. That is where the Haunting Souls will spawn, in groups of 6. You will want to go to the opposing corner from that portal. You'll want to kill the adds which spawn from the other 2 portals. While doing this, keep your focus on the blue portal. When the ghosts spawn, prepare for Fel Prison and be ready to cast it at about the center of the room. When the Haunting Souls start moving, you'll want to count to about 4 seconds, then start casting Fel Prison on the center of the room. If this timing doesn't work for you, try it a few times and get familiar with it, and just reset the fight by dying when you are ready. It's not needed to reset the fight, but it is quick and easy. You will need to use the Fel Prison ability 4 times, as they spawn in groups of 6, which leaves 4 uses at 24 of them imprisoned, and 3 uses at 18 of them imprisoned. With some luck, you'll be able to do this with 1 life of the Soulbound Construct. If you don't manage it in 1 life, you'll have to get into the Soulbound Construct again. If you don't get into it quickly enough, the Haunting Souls will be freed and run for you before you are able to do anything. You can imprison them all together again, but you'll just have to avoid letting them hit you, which does significant damage to the Soulbound Construct. When you go to kill the Haunting Souls, be very careful not to get too close when doing so. Just touching one will disorient you and kill the mob without giving you credit for the kill. The best way to do this is with ranged AoE. You can see here he used Consecration and dragged them through it. After you have your 20 kills in 10 seconds, kill Socrethar and you should have your achievement. The next achievement up is This Land Was Green and Good Until... The objective is to kill Fellord Zakuun without absorbing any rumbling fissures. Basically, you'll want to DPS the boss down as quickly as you can, avoiding any of the swirly spots on the ground, since this is where the rumbling fissures are. This one shouldn't be too difficult. Finish him up and you should be good to go. After getting that achievement, the next one is, you gotta keep them separated. The objective is to kill Xhul'horac without triggering Shadowfell Annihilations. This boss uses Fel abilities and Shadow abilities both at different phases, and when either is used, it creates a green or purple fire respectively. When you gain either color of debuff, you'll want to avoid touching the opposite color of fire. I found it easiest to just bomb the boss as hard and fast as possible, and if you kill him fast enough, you don't really have to worry about anything. After finishing that up, the next achievement is Non-Lethal Enforcer. The objective is to kill Tyrant Velhari without killing the Ancient Enforcer. This one is very easy. As the achievement says, kill her without killing the Ancient Enforcer. Moving on, we have the next achievement, Bad Mannoroth. The objective is to kill a Doomlord using Empowered Felseeker, then kill Mannoroth. When you get to the platform where you see 3 Fel Iron Summoners, you're going to want to kill the Fel Iron Summoners which are not at the red pillar. By the time you do so, you, or someone in your party if you're not alone, should be afflicted with Curse of the Legion. When afflicted by that, go ahead and kill the last Fel Iron Summoner. When this debuff dissipates or you remove it, a Doomlord will spawn. When that happens, damage the Doomlord down to about 5 to 10% of his maximum health. Basically get him very low. While doing so, or after doing so, bring Mannoroth down past 35% of his maximum health. When you do this, he will transform. While in his transformed state, he will cast several empowered abilities. You must watch out for Empowered Massive Blast Waves and Empowered Shadow Force. Empowered Massive Blast Waves launches purple waves toward you, knocking you off the platform, and Empowered Shadow Force will push you off the edge. If you are a druid, you can use wild charge to avoid these dangers. If you are a demon hunter, your work is cut out for you and you can just glide back. Otherwise though, some classes can use movement abilities like heroic leap and grapple hook. When Mannoroth uses Empowered Felseeker, make sure your Doomlord is within range of this ability, and it should kill the Doomlord. After it does, kill Mannoroth and you should have your achievement. Ending this list is a very easy one, Echoes of Doomfire. The objective is to kill Archimonde with Doomfire still active. Basically, for this fight, while fighting him, he will spawn Doomfire spirits, which are big green flaming spheres which spawn lines of fire. That fire is the Doomfire. While that fire is on the ground, just down Archimonde and you've got the Echoes of Doomfire. Well, there you have it. Following this guide, you should have your achievements, including Glory of the Hellfire Raider. With that, you should have your new mount, the Infernal Direwolf. I hope you did enjoy the video, and I hope it was useful to you. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. That being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.